So today, I'm going to talk about this Japanese savings tool or budgeting tool that I found to be very interesting. In fact, I probably do a similar type of it already. So the thing is called Kakeibo. I think I pronounced it correctly. If not, oh well. So Kakeibo is basically a budgeting tool. It's actually a way to tell you basically to the savings going. So normally people save what's left over, but what the interesting part of Kakeibo is after you subtract all the fixed expenses, right, then you actually decide, I'm going to save this much amount of money. And I think that's very interesting because most of the time, if I remember correctly, when I was taught budgeting when I was in high school, it was subtract all your expenses, then whatever's left over you save. Whereas here, you're focusing on a specific savings goal, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. And after that, then you go about it. And the only one thing that you cannot change fixed expenses. And I think it makes sense because it takes a while to change your fixed expenses. So if you'll make changes, have to move apartment, buy a new house, downgrade, whatever it is, right? So focusing on the variable expense really makes sense initially, which works out really great. And what's really interesting is that for Kakeibo, it's actually broken out by the monthly income that you have, and you budget and write down, you literally handwrite them. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but you handwrite them to make a stick, and then you basically break that into categories, and then so from fixed to variables, and then basically go through that process. So I found a ledger online. So let's see what the ledger says. Let me see.
I cannot find the ledger at the moment, but I will find it. Then,
so I found it. So I found this ledger. It basically says you please look down on your monthly income, right? And then you look at fixed expenses. But let's go first. Okay. Where it's coming from, fixed expenses, your savings goal. Wow. So basically, you first get all the fixed expenses out of the way before moving forward. I don't know. I didn't even know my fixed expenses, to be honest. This might be a good exercise. And then you go to the second page. It says spending money. So how much money do I spend this month? So you minus the expense you did in the previous steps, and minus your savings goal. Whoa, savings goal immediately. That's your spending money left. So you see that if your savings goes a certain amount, then so much. So, okay. And after that, it says spending money this month divided by the number of weeks. Wow. That's how much money I spend per week. It's very, very good on a week by week basis. Daily is kind of hard, but week by week might be doable. So what's the goal? Okay. I don't know, but I'll definitely do that later. How will I achieve it? Interesting. And then afterwards, it's broken down. Oh my god, every single entry, that is gonna be a pain. This is gonna. I mean, hopefully that everything's accepted by card. Otherwise, it will be a pain. So, anyways, so that adds up. Make any notes. You review everything you did that month. And you evaluate, did you improve, did you not improve? So it sees that it's broken into 4 different categories. The needs, the wants, the culture, and unplanned. So I'm assuming the needs are things like food, grocery, etc. Wants is basically things you can have, maybe entertainment, culture, eating out. I need to make sure I understand what that is. So let me see, what is needs, wants? Needs are basically like the essentials, like housing, groceries, car payments, and student loans. The wants are things like takeout food, hobbies, entertainment, things entertainment. And the culture, it's like books, museum, concert, streaming service, so anything that's cultural. So for me, I put that into entertainment, but I guess in the Japan culture, culture is a very different, it's a very important thing for them. So they kind of put that as a category. And unexpected, which is everything else extra. So what we have is, the needs, wants, you add them all up, and then you can see that how much of unplanned, how much is planned. So what I would do is I'm going to actually do a trial for a week or two and see what happens, because yeah, let's do it. So I'm gonna do it for a week or two, and I'll refer back on my next video to see if I like it, what can it be improved, what can be better based on, and compare that with my current planning budgeting tool and see what happens. So stay tuned, but this is a very interesting way of doing Kakeibo or saving money. See how effective it is. I mean, because in Japan there's a thing called mottainai, right? So anything, waste not. So, and maybe that's why, because everyone is so frugal, that's why everyone lives in such a small apartment in Japan, especially Tokyo. But that's a story for another time.